Okay, welcome to this video on Sketchup 3D package. To find the piece of software, you need to go down to the search icon just there and start typing in Sketch. And as you start to type in Sketch, the app will appear. It should look like this. Sometimes it looks blank, so you'll just have to look on the specific PC that you're on. As we launch the app, you will notice the first thing that you need to do is choose a template just there. It doesn't really matter too much which one of these templates you go for, but we are taught to measure in millimeters, so we'll go with millimeters, and I tend to like that interior and production design one. So go down to start using SketchUp and we click there and we wait for the software to load. First thing you'll notice is a selection of tools along the top, a person for scale, and a blue line, green line, and red line. We can zoom in and out on wherever our mouse is using the roller ball on the mouse. So we can zoom in and out. So these lines, we'll talk about those first, these are called axes. Now we're looking at three dimensionals, so we're looking at X, Y and Z axes. So the blue one is up and down, the green one is left and right, and the red one is forwards and backwards. We don't necessarily need the person, so we're just going to get our select tool at the top and we're going to click on the person and we're going to press delete on our keyboard. I'm going to show you a couple of things that we can do now. So that's a rubber tool, the eraser, and this is a pencil line. We can change that with a drop down menu to a curved line. This is an arc, and we can get different arcs. We can get specific geometric shapes. Here we're going to use the rectangle tool. That's the one we're going to select first. That's really intuitive, this software. So I want to start where all the three lines meet. So I'm going to come down to there, and it automatically kind of knows, and the cursor snaps to what's called the origin. Okay, so it will come close and it will snap. So I'm going to click and you'll see this blue line start to operate. And we can scale however big we want that, but it doesn't matter much right now. So we're going to click and you'll notice you end up getting a face. Now you need a face for anything you do 3D. Okay, a face. Now I want to look around this. So I can zoom in and out, as we've discovered with the roller ball, but we can also use this orbit tool. Now that orbit tool allows us to look around the work, but it's quite a bit of a faff to keep clicking up there and clicking back on the tool, clicking up there. So if you hold down your roller ball, so your roller ball that does that, if you hold it down, your tool, no matter what you've got, turns into the orbit tool. So we hold it down and you can see there that it starts to do this. Okay, so it starts to do that. We can look around the work. So we can now do something with that face and actually rub out a line and the face disappears. So I'm just going to get an arc tool and show you how to refill this in. So you know I said it's intuitive. So I've got the arc tool, just getting this one, and I'm going to come to the end of that line. It almost snaps. It knows I want to do that. And it's going to find the line. We can't quite see it, but it'll find the line that it was there or is there. So I'm going to click on that. Now there is a middle line because we're creating an arc and we want it on the green axis, because if it's on the blue axis, look, if I do that and then zoom around, orbit around, you can see that it's gone up because it's on the blue axis. I don't want to do that, so I can go back using the edit undo tool and I will get my arc tool again. You can see it this time, the angle's slightly changed. I'm going to click there and there, and I want the line on the green line. You can see that now brings us with a face. And once we have a face, we can use this magic tool here. This magic tool is called push and pull. So we're going to hover on that surface, we're going to click, and we're going to just drag it up. Okay? And we can look around that. What's really cool now is we can draw further shapes on the face, and we can push or pull that shape. So that's quite cool. Other thing we can do is we can find the center of shapes. There's two ways of doing that. So the first way is I'm just going to get a circle tool, and I want to draw a circle on that face, but I want it right in the middle. So I'm going to go along this line. As I go along that line, it will find the midpoint. Okay? And as I come down, I've not clicked anything, but as I come down, it gives me a guideline. It snaps to that line there along the center, which is really useful. And then I'm going to do the same here. Midpoint, come across, and go back up to there, and as I come down, it should find both of them, and it has done. So then I can click, and I can choose however big I want the radius of that circle. And again, I can push or pull that shape. The final one I just want to show you is this offset tool. And this offset tool is really useful. So if I wanted the shape of this kind of arched rectangle, I go on the face and I can have the same shape bigger or smaller. And it's perfectly in the middle. So there's two ways of getting your shapes in the middle there. Again, I can push and pull that. This was a draw. I want to show it open. So I'd get that offset tool on that face. I would do that. I would push that down, and I would then push that in. So it looks like that draw is coming out of that carcass. Now if I wanted to push this in, I can't at the moment because it's going to stop at this face. If I did that, it's going to destroy it. So I'm just going to undo a couple of steps and show you another little technique. So I want to push that in, and I want it to go back on the face. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my cursor to that face. Okay. I'm going to put a line down the center, just there. And I want to pull that one out. And as I start to pull this one out, I want it in the same place as that one. So as I start pulling, I can just take my cursor over, and now they're equal and even. I can look right perfectly down them. So I can zoom in and out. I can do all sorts here. So I can pull that up and that up to the same place. If I wanted to push it in, I could do the same thing. So I push it in, I bring my cursor over to that, and it will only go as far as I want it to. Okay. Have a little play with that, and then I will show you another tutorial in a bit. If you do get stuck, the best way to delete anything, you can use your rubber and you can delete lines step by step. Or if you want to delete the whole thing, you get your arrow tool, you draw a box over everything, you highlight everything, and you press delete.